It's honestly the only way you can start. Starting before you're ready is the only way to start. Because what you think ready feels like is that feeling you get when you're doing the thing. And you can't do the thing until you start. So you have to start first before you feel ready. There is no ready. And honestly, what if you redefined what ready feels like? What if ready was the feeling of the desire to start? What if that was, oh, I guess I'm ready now? What if ready was the natural draw of your inspiration and your desire pulling you forward? And it wasn't whatever you think that level of capability or that level of expertise or whatever feels like. Because that is the feeling of you, of an experienced you, the you that has had the experience. So maybe we should redefine these things, right? So what you think is ready is actually in the midst of, right? And what actually is ready is, I want to start now. I want to do this thing. Then you're ready. You're ready to do the thing. Maybe ready also feels like fear. I'm afraid to do this thing. I want to do it, but I'm afraid. I'm ready. I desire to move in that direction. I desire to see what my life would be like if I actually fill in the blank. But I'm scared. But I'm scared of what it means if I change, if I take that leap. I'm scared of what happens if I leave this relationship, or if I move across the world, or if I just admit something to myself. I guess I'm ready. And what if starting began inside? What if starting was an inside job, where you begin to become more vulnerable and honest with yourself, and you admit to what you want? What if that was the beginning? What if that was the start? You admitting that you actually really want to do something, to be someone, to show up in a new way, to go somewhere, to see something, to live however it is you really want to live. That's the beginning. And as you become more vulnerable and honest with yourself, and you allow that desire to be witnessed within you, it fans that flame. It turns the spark into a flame. And that desire and that flame can draw you forward way more than your fear would ever stop you. If you allow that energy to be cultivated within you, but you can only do that when you're vulnerable and honest with yourself. I had that happen when I was wondering what I was going to do next before I left and became an international nomad to travel the world and see who I am as I'm exploring. I knew for a long time that I was an explorer type. I was someone that wanted to see things, that needed to be in different places, that wanted to become more. I'm just listening to the wind. Feeling grateful that I'm in this tiny town in Western Germany, getting to experience what this life is like over here, at least in my quiet way as I move about the streets and the trails, getting a sense of what this is. And I know sometimes people talk about how they worry about the people that they know now. Like when you take that leap and you go somewhere else, You worry about the fact that life continues on for those people, but without you, because you're somewhere else. But I think that comes from a place where we prioritize and center other people so much. I had that happen when I was younger. It was hard for me to really conceptualize myself. And so I was always peering into other people's lives. And it would create a lot of my own psyche. It's just this like sort of sense of what life must be like for that other person. But not for me. And then I began taking back my attention, my energy. And even if that thought comes up about, well, their life kind of goes on, even when I'm not there, as it should, I realize that it's only when I'm not actually actively creating my adventure do I get preoccupied with other people's lives and what they're doing. Of course I love them, of course I care. But just like if I were there, I would still hear about things after it passed. I wouldn't be involved in everything they're doing. You know? But as I redirect my attention and my awareness and my desire, my inspiration to my own adventure, that's what then fills my mind and my heart. That's what then I'm creating and actively in. It really is this interesting movement from passive to creative. I talked about this a little bit in the last video, which I really invite you to watch. And I'm still learning. I'll still have these moments where I feel I can only create if I had more money, if I had better equipment. I can only have an adventure if I could go farther and see more things. And then I go to the trail that's right over here. I stand under the trees as they swish and billow around me in the wind. And I almost get the sense that it's like I'm underwater. And I see these waves crashing above me, but where I'm at is such a peaceful perspective as I'm held calmly within the water. And it's like I put down from my mind and my agitation, my nervous system, the sense that something else has to happen, and I'm fully, completely within the moment. And it feels like my soul is drinking in this moment, the beauty, the fact that I'm alive. I think these moments are really important when we allow that. When we bring back our energy and our awareness from everything else out here, which I think gets trained in a way to be externally focused, especially with social media and things. And we come back to ourself. And this moment in your life, you come back to yourself and your life and your moment in time right now. And it opens the door for your soul to drink in the beauty of being alive. And it feels almost as though my whole energy is just washed clean. Not that it's bad, anything before that, but just it feels clear, like it's washed clear of all the distractions and agitations. And I feel fulfilled. Like, oh, this is life. Drinking in the moment from my soul. So I don't know how we got to that from just start. You're already ready. You are already ready. Right now, you're already ready. You have the desire. That means you're ready. You're already ready. Go. 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 I want to see you going, doing, being, having, seeing. You got this. And I'll see you here again soon.